Hello everyone, my name is General Fancy Pants, and welcome back to Memoria. When we last left off, we gathered up all these spirits here, and now we have to figure out what to actually do with them. And I kind of think I have an idea of where to go with them, and it has to do with the fact that on the rooftop and in the pit, the air spirit wouldn't react to our this orb.
Whatever it is, elemental spirits seem to be magically attracted to it.
So this orb of light here wouldn't attract the air spirit, and there was a hexagon in place on the wall, and the air spirit was just kind of hanging out by that hexagon. So I'm wondering if that's where we need to take the rest of the spirits, since that air spirit was already, basically it was already in place, or is already ready to go basically. And as you can see, there's more hexagons here. So I think this will have to do with the order of... I don't know what the order is, but on the archway down in the library, they did show the order of the elements, and I'm guessing that's the order of maybe importance of the elements, or maybe the order of how they interact with each other. Also, when we did the riddle game with Garon, there was a certain order, or felt like there was a certain order to those spirits as well, or those elemental manifestations of the faces. So anyway, so I guess starting this with this one, this is air. So let's go with or was the first one air? Was the first one air and then the second one was fire? And then it was ice before the water. This might seem a little far-fetched, but I'm kind of already seeing the pattern here. So like air is kind of vital to fire. Fire melts the ice to create water. And again, this might be kind of far-fetched, but it's just kind of how I'm trying to see the connection between how all these things work. And then I guess that would make sense though, as far as ore and water. But that was the order on the arch, was water, ore, and then earth was last. But it does seem like there's a circular circular thing going on here. But anyway, and I did do this wrong, because nothing happened. So I started on the wrong side. That's very cool how the colors match the element. That they actually paid attention to that. It's just not like a white, you know, just gaseous form that is drawn back. It's actually a color. It was fire, air, so fire was first, but I just started on the wrong side. So fire goes down here, and then it's air, and then it's ice. And then water. And then ore. And finally earth. Alright, now it looks like there's a seal here where I need to use the mask. Okay. Let's sit on the stool again, because that's... Oh, this is the second chamber. Okay. That makes sense.
Again, I can barely stay awake. Open my eye.
Alright, we can do that with our deactivate spell.
You have returned. Here now, the second act of my tale. The history of the mask. The mask presents the creatures of the world a choice. Upon those who wear it and speak the ancient incantation written upon it, I bestow blessed forgetfulness, so that the pain of loss gives way to an unsullied new beginning. If the wearer speaks my true name, however, I appear to them and fulfill any wish they have. Whatever was lost, I recover from the depths of the past and bring into the present. Thus, over the years, the dead have awoken to new life, and kingdoms have shone with old glory. My beneficence was boundless, and in my mercy I have overwritten the tyranny of the Book of Time. Yes, it was my name that did all this. My name outshone everything. Not Nemeremnon, as the giants call me, but rather my true name, my secret name. Satinhav sought to banish my name into oblivion. But again I outwitted him. In the shadow of Luz, I found the one place into which my master could not see. There I dug a hole, and in this hole I placed my name. And from my name grew a garden. Anyone who wore the mask and found the garden would also find my name. My name in my garden. The garden of eternal oblivion. The garden of my forgotten name.
Okay, so the garden has his name in it. We get it. Alright, awesome. So now there's just one more chamber to find. So let's head back up. And I guess let's head back to the observatory, I guess.
That I would meet him here of all places. As far as I'm concerned, he can rot in that hole. Hey, Kasim. He's ignoring me.
Alright. He's ignoring me, and I guess... Obviously they had a pretty bad falling out, but the prince does seem pretty arrogant in his thoughts of his sister, and that he thinks his sister is basically just a peasant, essentially. I guess it's... I don't really have very much left. I only have the mask and the goblet and not really much else. So let's go back down. Now that we know more about the Guardian of or not the Guardian of Oblivion, the Garden of Oblivion, let's talk to Ariarchos and see if he has more maybe that he can tell us. Because he's been doing research this whole time, and now that we kind of actually have maybe some answers that he couldn't find, maybe he'll know some more. Okay, so into the library. I wish there was a way of speeding up the... like when there's a long trek. Not necessarily a fast travel, but maybe just to speed up like the walking speed or something like that. That'd be really nice, but as it is, we just get to watch all of this all over again. Alright.
Nice to see you again, girl.
Alright, let's start here.
What else do you know about Ben Jalif?
Not much. He was given the mask and sent out. That's all it says here.
Okay. I skipped over that, but it was nothing that we didn't already know. So let's report on the signet chamber.
I've been in 2 chambers now.
Don't beat around the bush. Tell me. I'll make note of your every word. Posterity must learn of this.
Alright, and let's talk about the Guardian of Oblivion now that we know the origin of it and why it's there.
What did Jalif write about the garden again?
It says that some sort of magic word is buried in the garden. A word that will awaken the true power of Malakar's mask, and that 3 secret chambers will point the way there. He babbles that the place was created by an ancient entity, a servant of time, and that Satinav, the Lord of Time, separated the garden from our spheres, so that nothing that happens in the garden would have consequences for our reality. Then there's something about lies that become truth, and a hole in the Book of Time. Ah, yet more stupid blather.
Well, we understand that a lot better, and that the secret word is the name of Numaramanan, and, yeah, so that all makes sense now.
If I want to enter the garden, I have to find the 3 chambers first, right?
Yes, but before that, you need Malakar's...
Okay.
Who is Satinav?
Satinav. He watches over the Book of Time.
Has anyone ever...
Okay.
No.
So we already know that.
That's enough for now. See you later.
Keep me up.
Alright, so now... let's head back down. Let's go to the main hall. Let's go back down to that lake and see if... and see if we can do more. Here, because this is really all that I think I have left to do is just to figure out this one last little puzzle here. Let's see if we can try the mask on the ornament.
It's only a part of the seal. Something's still missing.
Okay. How about the eye?
The drawing fits exactly.
Huh. Okay. I guess that's all I needed to do is actually make an eye on the seal. Oh, I get it, because that's how the seals... all the seals have the 2 hands and the eye, but the only thing that was missing was the eye in that ornament down there. Okay, that makes sense. Alright, one more time on the stool.
You're back. Awaken me, and we can end this tale.
Alright, I will do that.
Ah, there's one more thing you must understand. My garden and the surreal miracle of which it is capable. Oh, how I love it. My garden, with my name. How singular it is, how beautiful, and how jealous it makes Satinav. Yes, he hates it. He hates it so much that he separated it from your world. He hates that he cannot see into it, that he doesn't know what happens there. Whenever someone enters my garden, his quill pauses, and a page in his book, in which all else is written, remains blank. He hates it so much he decided that nothing that happens inside it can have any consequence for the world outside. Go in and break a branch, go out, and in the eyes of the world, it was never broken. But whisper what happened in the garden into Satinav's invisible ear, and he will add it to his book of truth. Only then do these actions become reality and the branch broken. Tell him what you will. If he believes you, then every word becomes true. But woe unto you if he learns that you have lied. Then he'll show his true face. He'll pursue you, and he'll tear you to pieces. For he is old, jealous, and depraved. Only I am great. Sadia, you've come so far. Embark on the final leg of your journey. Follow the path from Draconia down to Satinav's watching pillar. There, I'll appear to you, and if you wish, show you my garden. My garden, my name, my great mercy.
I didn't understand that bit with the branch.
You mean the garden?
I mean everything. The garden, the mask. I couldn't really follow all that, could you?
I didn't think it hard to follow.
Okay. Let's talk about the Garden of Oblivion.
The Garden of Oblivion. Why does every word become true there?
As far as I understood it, it's because Satinav doesn't know what happens in the garden. But he has to know it in order to write it down in the Book of Time.
Does everything have to be in that book?
Apparently. In any case, his ignorance makes him furious. That's why he made sure that everything that happens in the garden doesn't affect the outside world until someone tells him about it. What would be a good example? Let's say you take a ring into the garden and enchant it there, all right?
All right.
As soon as you leave the garden, the spell vanishes.
Why?
Because you enchanting the ring isn't written in the Book of Time. And if it isn't written in the Book of Time, it didn't happen. Only once you talk about it outside the garden.
And Satinav hears me.
And Satinav believes you. Only then will he open his book and write, Geron went into the Garden of Oblivion and enchanted Bryda's ring. And then the ring is enchanted.
What if I lie?
Well, if Satinav believes you, then the lie becomes true. At least, until he finds out that you lied. Something tells me he doesn't like being manipulated.
You got all that from the journal?
I thought it was obvious.
Yeah. It makes sense. And the mask? So basically it's, if you go into the garden, whatever happens there stays there. Unless you talk about it outside the garden and Satinav believes you. And even if the lie becomes true, even if you go in there and actually didn't enchant the ring but said you enchanted the ring in the Garden of Oblivion, then that would mean that it would be enchanted on the outside world, but once Satinav found out that it really wasn't enchanted, basically you have an enchanted ring that shouldn't be enchanted, and then he gets mad because you lied and he made it true when it shouldn't have been true. Alright, so let's talk about the mask.
What can the mask do again?
It presents you with a decision. If you wear it and speak the formula on the inside, you lose all your memories. But if you speak the name of the Djinn of Time, he appears to you and brings a piece of your past into the present.
Okay. I understand.
I guess I sort of understand, but by the 12, the world was mad back then.
Oh, nonsense. On the contrary, back then it was full of real magic. A mask that brings back the past, a garden that makes lies the truth. Compared to all that, the miserable hocus-pocus we know today is nothing.
Keep reading. Oh no. What comes next?
Someone else added something here in the margin. After my princess learned the way to the garden, she came to me one last time. The staff!
I don't know what awaits me there, but I will go to the Garden of Oblivion. I have to know what Kasim wanted there.
Be my guest. I wouldn't dream of standing in the way of your madness.
I want to apologize to you. You always wondered why I freed you from the burial chamber. Well, I needed an audience. Someone who would observe all my deeds and remember them forever. I only needed to impress you enough, and you would have never forgotten me. I used you.
And why are you telling me this now?
It's the garden. It scares me.
Scared? You?
The Djinn of Time is a wrathful being. Also, I could be playing into Kasim's hands there. I'm afraid I'll never come back out, and the world will forget me forever.
Oh, that won't happen. No. You're a wonderful woman. If I had knees, I would have proposed to you a long time ago. I thought you wanted to impress me.
You hated me a moment ago, and now you're in love with me?
What makes you think that? You're the last woman I would fall in love with. The woman I would fall in love with is dangerous and unpredictable. Mysterious. Moody.
That sounds just like me.
No. The woman I would fall in love with is so calculating and devious that I could never trust her. But you, Shahrazad, I trust you now. For whatever reason that may be.
The Air Mage already declared his willingness to come along to the Flying Fortress as an observer. I asked him to take you on board with him.
You what? Now that we are finally friends, you're going to send me to my death just like that?
If I survive the garden and make it to the battle, I want to fight alongside you.
Then please survive. I do not want to wind up in the nether hells all by myself.
You won't.
I'm serious, Shahrazad. If you don't come out, then I'll come and get you.
Don't worry. It doesn't matter how hopeless my situation is. I always have something up my sleeve. I'll be back soon.
Alright.
Right. There we are.
Okay. I'm going to call it an episode right here. Next time, we will explore this place, which I'm assuming is the entrance to the garden. This is the monolith, I think, or this is the monolith that he was talking about. So, yeah, I will see you guys next time on Memoria. Until then.